Hello, I'm Samanvay Gupta, a first year student at IIM Trichy. Today I'd like to talk about the topic quick commerce boom, convenience at what cost. India is building an economy where groceries arrive in 10 minutes, but behind the speed lies a deeper question. Are we building the foundations to sustain it? What's happening? India is witnessing the rapid rise of quick commerce. Platforms like Blinkit, Swiggy, Zepto, and Instamart are fundamentally reshaping retail through ultra fast delivery models. This system runs on dense networks of dark stores, hyper-local logistics, and a large gig based workforce. At a broader level, it reflects the expanding strength of India's service sector, leveraging digital platforms to create entirely new forms of economic activity. India's quick commerce market is already valued at over $3 billion and is projected to grow nearly six times by 2030. The scale of shift is hard to overstate. Now we'll look about the historical context. This isn't India's first encounter with a retail transformation. In the early 2000s, the rise of organized retail malls, supermarkets, hypermarkets promised to modernize consumption. But that wave struggled against infrastructural bottlenecks, fragmented supply chains, and regulatory ambiguity around FDI in retail. Then came e commerce. Flipkart and Amazon scaled rapidly through the 2010s, riding smartphone adoption and cheaper data. Yet, even they took years to solve the last mile problem outside metro cities. Quick commerce is the third wave, and it's moving faster than either of its predecessors. The question is whether India has learned from those earlier growing pains. Now we'll look at the structural contradiction. The honest answer is only partially. Quick commerce is built on speed, and speed ultimately depends on physical infrastructure. India continues to face significant challenges in urban planning, road connectivity, warehousing capacity, and cold chain logistics. This creates a widening gap between the pace of digital innovation and capacity of physical systems to support it. There is also a labor dimension. The gig workers powering these deliveries operate largely outside formal employment protection. No guaranteed wages, no security, no career progression. A model that depends on this workforce at scale carries a hidden social cost. Now, what are the limitations of this model? This imbalance raises important concerns. High operational costs and persistent logistical inefficiencies limit long term profitability. The model remains concentrated in tier 1 cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, you name it, making broader geographic expansion difficult. Without parallel investment in roads, cold chains, and urban warehousing, maintenance efficiency uh, becomes increasingly costly. And from a competition standpoint, the aggressive pricing and deep discounting used to acquire customers is largely venture capital funded, raising questions about what happens when the fund dries up. Now we'll look at what needs to happen, the measures and timeline. So, what would sustainable forward path look like? Three interventions stand out. First, formalize gig labor. India needs supportable. Uh, India needs supportable benefits uh, framework for platform workers, similar to model being piloted in the EU and parts of South Asia. This could be phased at over a 2 to 3 year window through updated labor codes. Second, we definitely have to invest in urban logistics infrastructure. The government's PM Gati Shakti program is a step in the right direction, but its focus must extend to the last mile urban connectivity, not just intercity highways. Targeted investment here for the next 5 years could dramatically reduce the cost of operating these networks. Third is incentivizing geographic expansion. Tax breaks or subsidized dark store licenses for platforms that expand into tier 2 and tier 3 cities would widen the model's reach and reduce its dependence on already congested urban clusters. Barriers to implementation, now we'll look on that. None of this is easy. Formalizing gig labor faces pushbacks from platforms whose unit economics depends on flexible low cost delivery. Investment requires coordination across state governments, urban local bodies, and central ministries, historically a slow process. And expanding to similar cities means thinner margins, at least in the short run. Political will and regulatory clarity, not just capital, are the binding constraints here. So, what does this rise of quick commerce truly reveal? It reflects an economy that is innovating rapidly but not always uniformly. The 10-minute delivery is impressive, but if India cannot close the gap between its digital ambition and its physical and social foundations, this convenience economically risks becoming convenience for the few, building the economy behind the delivery. That is the real challenge, and meeting it will define whether quick commerce is a story of sustainable growth or a cautionary tale. Thank you.